Are we live? Are we live? Are we live? Okay. Hello. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna be watching Alia Wada, Muldoon's Log, Volume 2, Jurassic Park, Found Footage, VHS Analog Horror. Yeah, I watched it before. The first volume. Awesome. Seriously, go watch it. But let's watch this. Oh my goodness. Let's just like now, because I know it's gonna be good. 3 hours. Whew. Okay. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Let's do it. The following footage was captured on Elsa. Oh. Is blood okay? Oh.
Yes, Muldoon?
Ray, I need a capture team down to the raptor pen immediately.
What's going on?
Asset out of containment. It's the big one. She's on the loose.
God. Okay, on it.
I also need medical aid here as well.
Are you injured?
It's Andre.
I'm on it.
I've only got my Spaz 12 on me. I haven't got a trank. If I make a shot, it's the kill. I'll be waiting in the observation tower.
What is it?
Just send backup.
Whoa.
Don't call this line, I'll call you. You take the shot, you face a lawsuit. You don't take the shot, she hunts you. Either way, you're as good as dead. Hammond or bury me, whatever I do.
You'll be careful, bro.
She's exploring her new surroundings. Best to keep an armed watch of her until the capture team arrives. Dead battery. Christ, they better not be far.
Fudge. Two minutes in and we already got an ad. Great. Oh, mama. Yo.
Come on, what's taking so long? If I let her get far, we'll lose her. This will turn into a manhunt that could span hours, damn it.
divulge. Whoa. I wonder what is it doing?
Robbie.
You alright, Muldoon? Arnold, target acquired.
I'd never be more glad to see you in my life.
Bring it here, Muldoon.
Get off me.
Okay.
I'm actually extremely impressed you made that shot through the fence, too. The feeder door jammed halfway through the cow drop. Guide rails must have warped in the humidity. Happens with equipment out here. Metal expands, things get stuck. Usually it's nothing. Usually you shut it down and the animal never even notices. But today the door stayed open and she noticed. The big one's always watching things like that. Patterns, routines. She saw the opening before Andre. One moment she's beneath the feeder, next moment she's airborne, straight up and out. Andre suffered a concussion, but he's okay. And the big one has joined her comrades in their enclosure.
Working fine now, Muldoon.
Give it a few goes, Robbie. When an incident like this happens, it always prompts review of the containment protocols. Protocols say begin non-lethal containment. Always non-lethal. That's the part they write neatly into manuals. What they don't write is what it feels like standing in the jungle with a predator somewhere in the dark and knowing you've only got live rounds in your Spaz 12. Normally you'd carry a dart rifle for something like that. Tranquilizer. Quick sedation, animal down in seconds. Clean and controlled. I didn't have one. So suddenly the decision isn't procedural anymore. It's judgment. Out there, I wasn't just tracking a dangerous animal. I was tracking a company asset worth more than most city blocks. Years of genetic work, millions in engineering, incubation, veterinary oversight. These animals aren't wildlife in the usual sense. They're investments, proprietary products, which means if you pull the trigger, you're not just killing an animal, you're destroying property. And InGen doesn't take kindly to people destroying their property. Now in Africa, if a lion goes man-eater, the decision's simple. You shoot it. No committee, no lawyers. Ranger makes the call and that's the end of it. Here, you've got accountants and geneticists and executives who've never stood 10 feet from something that wants to spill and gorge on your guts. And they all believe the animal is more valuable alive than the man holding the rifle. So you start doing the arithmetic in your head. How much trouble would I be in if I pulled that trigger? Funny sort of calculation to be making while something like that is hunting in the dark. The way I see it, you're a dead man either which way, because if things went different last night and she ambushed me, I would shoot her to oblivion. And then maybe I would have survived in the conventional sense. But InGen would end me, end my career, bury me in legal prosecutions, and make sure I spent my remaining days in a jail cell. It's a predicament that I've never wrestled with before, and I sure as hell hope I never have to again. In the end, no blood spilled, not hers, not mine. Which means on paper the system worked. But I'll tell you something they won't put in the report. The big one didn't escape because the steel failed. She escaped because she understood the opportunity before we did. And that's the real problem with these animals. They aren't just dangerous. They're learning. Clever girls. Bet you're happy, Bessie.
It's Mildred.
You can't name them all Mildred, Robbie.
Introducing
Oh, that
new
is-
Excellence Pistachio.
Yeah.
Discover excellence. Expect delicious.
Yeah, I don't have YouTube Premium, so we just have to deal with this. Unfortunately.
They're the archetypal ceratopsian. The one every 3-year-old can name before they can spell it. 3 horns, shield frill, beaked mouth. Triceratops is the blueprint people carry in their heads when they think of dinosaurs, second only to Tyrannosaurus in public imagination, and considerably easier to manage, provided you respect the fact that you're dealing with 6 tons of muscle wearing a battering ram on its face. 4 residents currently in this paddock, 2 mature females and a pair of subadults, the youngest barely past her first major growth spurt. Their social structure is tight, protective rather than hierarchical in the aggressive sense. Lady Margaret stands at the center of that cohesion, broadest frill, calmest disposition, and the others orient to her the way compass needles find north. Good morning, ladies. Triceratops herd dynamics are built on cohesion and mutual protection rather than rigid dominance. The adults form a defensive core, orienting their horns outward while keeping juveniles shielded within the group's center, and movements are guided by calm, experienced females like Lady Margaret, whose steady behavior signals safety to the others. She's almost 9 years of age and has essentially reached her maximum size. Big, healthy girl. She's the closest thing this herd has to a matriarch. If she settles, they settle. If she spooks, you clear the area and climb something sturdy. InGen wants 8 Triceratops in total, and another batch is currently being nurtured on Isla Sorna. They're several months old at the moment, but when they hit about the 1-year mark, they'll be transferred to Nubla to join this lot. They've heard my Jeep pull up, and I know they've been eyeing the carrots. Supplemental not necessary, but it keeps them clustered here and engaged. Today I need them occupied. More precisely, I need Lady Margaret occupied. Her protective instincts are exemplary. If she thinks the youngster needs defending, she'll put herself between us without hesitation. Easy, girls. There you are. Keep that attention here. The others always follow her lead. No agitation, no alarm snorts, just the low, resonant feeding sounds of content herbivores. With the herd settled, I can enter from the east service gate and see what's happening with number 4. Yesterday, one of the workmen said that the youngster was laying down for the entirety of his shift, so she needs checking on. And I can only do that with these guys occupied. Last thing I want is a protected response when there's no threat to respond to. All right. I can vouch for the workman's observations as I've been watching her separate herself over the past 48 hours. Not exclusion, more a quiet withdrawal.
Oh, that sound. So scary.
Here she is. This is the youngest of our Triceratops. She's just over 3 years of age. Normally, she's got a spring in her step, but lately she lags at feeding time, beds down apart, rejoins briefly, then drifts away. Animals isolate for a handful of reasons. Injury, illness, parasitic load, digestive distress, or the simple need to rest without the constant contact of herd movement. Prey species especially will remove themselves if they feel compromised. They see it as better one vulnerable individual than compromise and slow the entire group. At the very least, she's alert, eyes tracking me. No panic, no attempt to rise and flee. That suggests she doesn't perceive immediate danger, and that whatever's wrong hasn't robbed her of her situational awareness, which is always a good sign. No visible trauma, limbs aligned properly, no swelling at the joints, no abrasions along the flank, respiration steady. I'm watching for asymmetry in the rib cage, none that I can see. If there's pain, it's internal. There is, however, something present that I can't document using my lapel cam, and that there is a foul odor here. Faint at first, then unmistakable, a sour smell. Wrong for a hindgut fermenter on a controlled diet. I'll be checking the droppings nearby.
Yeah, it's gonna be like this.
Gone are the days of spending hours making fancy presentations from scratch. I partnered with Adobe Acrobat to show you.
Okay. Gosh.
The stools are well formed, but with that same foul odor. That points toward gastrointestinal upset rather than systemic infection. Possible causes: spoiled forage after the rain, ingestion of toxic plant matter sprouting throughout the paddock, or microbial imbalance in the gut. Ceratopsians rely on complex fermentation to break down cellulose from the plants they eat. Disrupt that flora and you get gas, discomfort, lethargy, and withdrawal from the herd. See how she's laying? She's got her legs beneath her, resting her stomach on the ground. This is the classic guarded posture of an animal with abdominal discomfort. You see it with little kids when they have an upset tummy. They'll hunch over and rest their folded arms into their bellies. This is the quadruped's equivalent of that. If it were a limb injury, for example, she'd favor one side. This is centered, protective. I'm watching her flank for bloat. Acute tympany would be an emergency. That's when you hear sounds from the abdomen that could signal intestinal obstruction. This looks subacute. Unpleasant, but survivable with monitoring. Behind me, I can hear Lady Margaret's low rumble. It's a contact call, not alarm. She knows where the youngster is. She's not rejecting her, she's giving her space while maintaining auditory reassurance. That's the distinction people miss. Herd defense isn't always a wall of horns. Sometimes it's trust that the vulnerable member will return when she's ready. Lady Margaret isn't driving her away. She's holding the perimeter steady, so the youngster can recover without pressure. If her complaints turn out to be dietary contamination or microbial imbalance, we can correct it. If it's intoxication, we need to identify the source before the rest of the herd is exposed. As long as Lady Margaret keeps the herd calm and the youngster remains responsive, we let nature do what it does best: heal quietly, on its own terms. I'll recommend a review of the forage in Triceratops territory, and what that'll mean is checking on the Euoplocephalus and the Styracosaurs, because all three species share that exhibit in the park. It also means collecting a stool sample for Harding to analyze. And that is one big pile of shit. She escaped, lingered around the pen till nightfall, and then she headed to this maintenance shed. There's usually not much rhyme or reason when it comes to animal behavior most of the time. They sense something and then they react. But the big one seemed really curious about that shed, and I'm really curious as to why. I've had a quick scrub through the footage from last night and increased it to maximum exposure, but I couldn't make out anything in the darkness. I thought I heard something and felt a presence here. Working in Africa does that too. You develop a sixth sense that helps you detect when a predator is eyeing you. And I felt that last night. No surprises, left the gate open after they took her. Bloody useless. Now, she was very interested in being here. Animals sometimes work off a scent that could be carried in the wind or smeared across the ground or along foliage. Our olfactory capabilities are laughable in comparison, so it's very possible that she caught a whiff of something that brought her here. But remember, these animals haven't seen anything of this island outside of their enclosure, so her surroundings could definitely contribute to sensory overload and overwhelm her. And then she tried digging at the shed door. Actually, better check that the team didn't leave that open too. Nope, locked. Good. Nothing sticks out to me at the moment, so it's best to...
What was that?
Is that coming from...
Inside.
Exposure to germs every day can make him sick.
Curious, what was that?
Shield him with Dettol 12-hour protective shield and be 100% sure. When mom's away, her protection stays.
Get 2 large Saver Flavor pizzas for $179.80. Roman's Pizza. Best pizza, best value.
Yes, Muldoon?
Can you account for all maintenance personnel at the present moment?
Maintenance. Hold on. I'm pulling up the roster now.
This concerns maintenance shed Delta 7, the small bunker out in the jungle by the drainage run.
Delta 7. Yeah, I know the one. Why?
Ray, I checked the shed a minute ago. Door's locked, and now I'm hearing something inside.
Inside the shed.
Pounding. On the door.
Hold on, Muldoon. I pulled up crew locations. Alright. Maintenance teams are accounted for. 2 in the vehicle depot, 1 in the north fence line sector. Electrical crew is over at the geothermal plant.
Anyone scheduled for Delta 7?
No, nobody's assigned there today.
Anyone missing from their stations?
Not that I'm seeing.
Ray, something is definitely inside this shed.
You sure it's not equipment, pump cycling or something?
No pump makes a noise like someone hitting a steel door.
The door is still locked from the outside, right?
Locked. I checked it myself not 30 seconds ago.
You want me to send someone out there?
Negative, not yet.
Muldoon, if someone's trapped in
The
there...
keypad is on the outside. Door can be opened from within.
Okay.
And you're certain no one's scheduled to be here?
Positive. Muldoon, could it be an animal got in somehow? You know there's a fair few monkeys here.
Oh, I know.
What do you want to do?
First thing I want to know is if your system can tell me when that door was last opened.
Checking. Give me a second. Okay, the last logged access to Delta 7 was yesterday morning. Routine inspection.
By who?
Maintenance tech Alvarez.
And he came back out?
Yes, at 10:34 a.m.
And since then?
No entries. The door hasn't been opened since.
Ray, whatever is hitting that door wasn't in there yesterday then.
I can't say. There are no surveillance cams on Delta 7. What do you want me to do? Muldoon? Update me, Muldoon.
Where is Alvarez now?
He should be at one of the vehicle depots according to the roster. Why?
Check on him right now.
Okay, one moment.
Tell me, Ray.
Yep, maintenance tech Alvarez is at the vehicle depot.
You're positive?
Yes, he was telling me about his team spotting a discolored compy. He said it wasn't green, it was brown.
Ray, send me Robbie. Tell him to bring a trank and a torch. I'll call you later.
could be inside. Oh, crap. What's going on? Man, I can't take the suspense.
Afternoon, Muldoon.
Jerry, in your travels around the island, what would you say is the largest non-dinosaur we have around here?
Oh, probably a howler monkey. Have you seen one of them around?
I wanted to kill one earlier this month.
Why?
What's the largest howler you've seen?
They can get pretty big, up to 4 feet tall. Pretty strong, too.
All right. Thanks, Jerry.
Sure.
That's a cute monkey.
Who do you think this belongs to, Robbie?
I don't know. All maintenance personnel wear a red helmet.
Keep this door wide open behind you. Haven't been in here for a while now. Where's the light switch?
Here. Oh, looks like it's dead. There's another one at the bottom of the stairs.
Keep the torch right over my shoulder and tail me.
Got it. What do you think, Muldoon?
I'm hoping it's a howler that's gotten in, found a safety helmet, and is now...
Are you okay?
Shit, Muldoon, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay, Robbie.
Come on.
Share a Lindor moment.
Yeah, nobody cares. Extra.
How's it feel?
I think I've sprained it.
Can you put weight on it?
Oh.
Okay, that's a no. You stay here, Muldoon. I'll have a quick look around.
No, Robbie.
I've got my trank, I've got my torch. I'll flick the lights on and we're good. 1 minute and I'll be back. Then I'll help you back up the stairs.
Robbie.
Hey, who came to your rescue yesterday? I need you to let go of the idea that I'm a junior. I want to progress up the ladder.
Robbie, you're no junior. You're the only one I rely on.
Then rely on me this time. 1 minute, I'll find this monkey and turn the power on from the box. And then I'm out.
Be careful, Robbie.
I got this, Muldoon.
Yo. Hey.
I thought there was a light switch here. What's the deal? Muldoon, what are you doing?
Robbie, bring your torch here.
What did you find?
I don't know.
I couldn't find anything. You okay?
You seeing this all right, Muldoon?
Pictures coming through clear. What am I looking at?
Just give me a second.
I haven't been to Site B in so long.
I want to show you our progress here.
Progress? This should be interesting.
And then it takes...
Oh, I've lost you. Tony?
Just behind here. And then I can show you if the image is not coming through all right, Muldoon.
It's chopping out here and there, Tony.
Yeah, communication is a disaster here. Tell me if you can't see.
Okay, no, it's better now. Oh wow, they've grown considerably since I last saw them.
10 months old, hatched within 3 days of each other, practically raised together from the moment they could stand. Tyrannosaurs, male on the right, female on the left. Look at the way she's leaning into him there. See that?
I do.
They do that all the time. Nuzzling, leaning, sleeping side by side. It's not something we expected at all.
Yet those two look like littermates in a kennel.
Exactly my thinking. We've been watching them for months, and they're virtually inseparable. If one moves, the other follows. If one beds down, the other curls up right beside it.
That could complicate things later on, Tony.
It might, but right now, it's fascinating. Social bonding in tyrannosaurs wasn't something the models predicted. The geneticists were expecting more territorial behavior even at this age.
And instead you've got them cuddling.
That's one word for it. I'd call it affiliative behavior, early stage pair bonding. Could be developmental comfort, or maybe tyrannosaurs were more socially tolerant than we thought.
How big are they now?
About 2 meters nose to tail. Still awkward, all legs and curiosity, but they're growing fast. Another year and there'll be something else entirely. The female, see the heavier skull ridge starting to form?
I see it.
She's developing beautifully. Strong bone structure, stable temperament, excellent feeding response. If she keeps progressing the way she is for another year or so, I think she'd be a prime candidate for transfer over to the park.
To the park?
Exactly. 2-year-old tyrannosaur, young enough to adapt to a new enclosure, old enough to handle transport stress.
Tony, you're aware the adult we've got hasn't even taken kindly to the juvenile we already house.
I've read the reports. Dominance displays, intimidation, some chasing.
More than chasing, she's made it quite clear she doesn't want the youngster in her territory.
That's expected though, isn't it? Tyrannosaurs are apex predators, territorial by design.
Which raises the question why anyone would want to add another.
Well, out here we're not just observing animals, we're refining them, testing combinations, trying things the park can't risk doing in front of guests, such as permitting embryos to develop into males. That's a male tyrannosaur right there. We have 2 others, engineered deliberately.
Here, it's all sandwich, no sausage.
On Nublar, yes. Out here, we have a little more freedom. The whole point of this island is engineering and experimentation.
And what exactly are you experimenting toward?
Reproduction.
Natural breeding.
Precisely. If we can get stable breeding populations, the economics change overnight. No more expensive cloning cycles every time we want a new animal.
You just breed them like livestock.
In a sense, yes. One successful pair could produce multiple offspring over time. That's a massive reduction in costs compared to building every animal in the lab.
Provided they don't eat one another first.
That's why we're studying their development now. Behavior, compatibility, hierarchy formation, everything.
And the female you're showing me?
She's calm, observant, adaptable, exactly the sort of temperament the park prefers.
You make it sound like you're selecting racehorses.
It's not that far off, honestly. You've got to admit, though. Look at them.
I am.
2 tyrannosaurs behaving like house cats. If someone had told me that 5 years ago, I'd have laughed them off the island.
Tell me, who decides which animals make the cut for Nublar?
It's a committee. Genetics, veterinary, behavioral paleo, myself or Sarah. Hammond or Wu have the final say though.
And the criteria?
Stability first. Animals that handle confinement without excessive stress. Predictable feeding behavior. Limited aggression toward barriers or vehicles. Visual appeal helps too. Remember, Muldoon, these animals are going to be seen by tourists eventually. Why do you ask?
Who approved the big one to come to the park?
Probably Wu.
Of course.
The future of population health can start now. We are spotting trends in wastewater and turning them into actionable health insights. In the places we call home and on the world's largest stage, healthier populations start with Watchfire.
And beneath the lodge will be a series of glass viewing areas that look out onto this tributary of the Jungle River that runs through the aviary. There isn't much in here at the moment, just some fish, but the idea is to stock this tank with marine reptiles and whatnot that guests can view on foot. This tank is netted off from the rest of the river so the animals don't swim out. And the Jungle River cruise ride won't pass through this area, but through the water current deeper within the aviary. And they've definitely got their work cut out for them. Terratop's Lodge is still far from completion. When finished, the lodge will serve as a second form of accommodation high within the aviary. Progress is the slowest on this attraction, though. I think it's because some of the workmen here are hesitant. They say they don't like working within the animal enclosures, especially when the animals are also within the enclosures. But John and Henry insist on acclimatizing them even before work inside the aviary has wrapped up. John and Henry clearly have never worked with animals. You can't judge an animal the moment it steps into a new enclosure. Not a predator, not a herbivore, not anything with a pulse and instincts intact. First thing it does is assess every smell, every sound, every boundary. It's not living yet, it's calculating. Where's water? Where's shelter? Where's the threat? Until it answers those questions, you're not seeing the animal, you're seeing a reaction. Acclimatization is the difference between behavior and stress. People are quick to label an animal aggressive, or docile, or unstable, when in truth, it's just displaced. You take something out of its known environment and drop it into a new one. It will test that environment. It'll pace, it'll probe fences, it'll refuse food or gorge on it. None of that tells you what the animal is. It only tells you it doesn't trust where it is yet. You give it time though, things start to settle. Movement becomes deliberate instead of frantic. Feeding becomes routine. It begins to map its territory, establish comfort zones, preferred paths. That's when you start learning something useful. That's when patterns emerge. And patterns are what keep people alive. Out here, that process matters more than anywhere I've worked. These animals aren't just wild. They're engineered, placed into environments that are approximations at best. If you rush the judgment, if you decide too early that something fits or doesn't, you're making that call on incomplete information. And with animals like the ones here, incomplete information gets people hurt, or worse. So you watch, you wait, you let the animal tell you what it is on its own terms. Only then do you decide whether it belongs or whether it never should have been brought here in the first place. And on that sober note, that ends my log of... Christ, I forgot these guys were in here too. Nautilus. I think there's a handful of them in this tank. Majestic creatures, and really give off a prehistoric feel that boosts the aesthetic of what Jurassic Park is striving to achieve. Christ. Christ. Damn it. Missed. Oh, God. No. His name was Mendez, maintenance tech. Good worker by all accounts. Up on the scaffolding, running a routine check on the upper supports. That's when they came at him. Pterosaurs, fast and silent, dive-bombed him in quick succession. Not random either, coordinated. Knocked him down some 50, 60 feet onto the boulders below. By the time anyone got to him, it was already over. That's the danger with aerial predators. No warning, no perimeter, no safe ground.
Rest in peace.
Stimmer up. Flavor the moment.
So, I have a little confession to make. Today is the launch of a song.
A terrible, terrible tragedy. And I was stuck between a rock and a hard place myself. They are incredibly agile in the air. And on top of that, tranking the pterosaurs would have killed them. The sedative would work very fast and they would plummet, crashing into the ground. Ed Regis assured me that everyone responded appropriately and promptly, and Mendez's death was an unfortunate disaster. I was under the impression that he was harnessed to the scaffold, considering how high up he was working, but talking to some of the other workmen at the aviary, they say that there are 12 harnesses available, and there's usually 18 workmen per shift. So again, spared no expense, I see, John. Anyway, rest his soul. I'm back here in what we call the roost, backbone of the aviary. Cave structure carved into the rock face, shielded from wind, rain, and most of the light. It gives them height, darkness, and privacy. Everything a flying animal needs when it isn't in the air. You take that away from them, and you don't just stress them, you unbalance them. Smells just like what you'd expect, a chicken coop. We've got 4 animals in the aviary at the moment. Pterodactyls, Cretaceous, long skulls, narrow jaws, those forward-projecting teeth like a fish trap built for skimming water, snapping up anything near the surface. Efficient, precise. They're not brute force predators, they're specialists. Everything about them is tuned for motion and timing. On paper, they're fish eaters. In practice, they're something else entirely. They roost together, but not peacefully. There's a constant tension in here. Posturing, spacing, low calls you can feel more than hear. They tolerate one another because the structure forces proximity, not because they're social. You watch them long enough, you'll see it. Little boundary disputes, shifts in position, one displacing another from a ledge. Territorial instincts never really switch off. And we're planning to add 2 more. 6 animals in a confined airspace, all competing for height, nesting spots, feeding access. And that's just the start. I'm told there are discussions about bringing in other species from Site B. Dimorphodon, Pteranodon, mixing them, Different sizes, different temperaments, different feeding strategies. That's not a collection. That's an experiment, and not a controlled one. The dive bombing, that's what worries me most. What happened to Mendez wasn't random. That behavior is instinctive. In the wild, they use it to strike fish. Rapid descent, precision impact, disorient the prey, and recover before the water takes them. It's a calculated maneuver, efficient, repeatable. You put a man on scaffolding, suspend him in open space, and suddenly he fits the profile. The roost is supposed to be their refuge, a place to withdraw, to settle, to build nests, and they do build them, every one of them. Twigs, debris, some of them steal the workman's tools, whatever they can gather. There are no eggs, no reproductive cycle driving it, not in the way we'd expect, but the behavior persists. Instinct doesn't need a purpose to exist. It just needs an outlet. And we're asking them to do all of this, roost, nest, establish territory, while men are still working inside the aviary. That's the part I cannot reconcile for the life of me. Hammond wants the attraction ready because he's compiling a list of people he wants to sign off on the park sometime next year. Wu wants the animals acclimatized. So they bring them in early, let them settle while construction continues. On paper, apparently, it saves time. In reality, it creates conflict and accumulates in death. You can't confine them to the roost while the work's ongoing. Not these animals. They're too large, too active. They need airspace. So they're out there flying circles, watching everything that moves, learning the routines of the men below them. And someone, somewhere, decided that because they eat fish, they wouldn't pose a threat. That's the flaw. That's always the flaw. Diet doesn't define behavior. It informs it, yes, but it doesn't limit it. You don't take a wild animal and reduce it to a feeding category and expect it to behave accordingly. Herbivores kill people just as much as carnivores. These are engineered creatures built from fragments of something we barely understand, placed into an environment that only approximates what they were. And then we assume we know how they'll act? Wu can splice genes, alter physiology, tweak structure down to the molecular level, but behavior isn't something you can dial in like a setting. It's shaped by instinct, by environment, by experience. Nature and nurture working together whether you like it or not. You get one wrong, the other compensates. I've seen it before. Back in Kenya, we came across a hyena den after a drought season. Most of the pack had moved on or died off. What was left was one pup, barely alive. We brought it back, nursed it, raised it alongside the dogs at the reserve. And it grew up just like them. Followed commands, sought human contact, slept by the fire. You'd swear it was just another domestic animal if you didn't know better. But every now and then, something would surface. A look, a reaction to a sound, a moment where instinct pushed through everything we'd given it. That's the thing about animals. You can shape them, you can guide them, but you can never fully erase what they are. And out here, we're not just dealing with what they are, we're dealing with what we've made them into without fully understanding the difference. And that's the other danger with cloning. You're not recreating something known. You're guessing at a living system and hoping it behaves the way you expect. Every time we guess wrong out here, it's not a theory that fails. It's a person who pays for it.
I love the sounds they make. Gosh. I wonder how did they get it right? Ads.
Just give me a minute, Robbie. I want to document their release.
No problem, Muldoon. Just say when.
Thanks. I'm currently within the Marine Reptiles walkthrough, under the aviary. This tank on the right is part of that exhibit, and this one on the left is not. This tank is still empty, and its occupants are due for transfer from Site B soon. The animals coming will need an aquatic section to their enclosure, so that's where they'll be going, even though they aren't marine reptiles. Visibility's good, glass is clean, no particulate in the water. Light penetration's decent, though it drops off quickly toward the far end. Robbie should be directly above me now with the transport container. There we are, just at the surface. Water temperature is being held within a very narrow range, 22 to 24 degrees Celsius. That's deliberate. Animals like these rely heavily on ambient temperature to regulate their internal processes. Too cold and their metabolism slows, digestion stalls, muscle response drops off, they become lethargic. Too warm, and you get the opposite. Elevated metabolic demand, oxygen consumption spikes, stress levels increase. In a closed system like this, that can kill them quicker than anything else. There's also oxygen saturation to consider. Warmer water holds less dissolved oxygen. So if the temperature drifts too high, you're not just stressing them, you're literally suffocating them, slowly without realizing it. At this stage, they don't have the reserves to compensate. Temperature control isn't comfort, it's survival. That's what all these control systems are in place for. Go for it, Robbie.
Yep.
Robbie's opening the container now. There we go. 3 juvenile plesiosaurs, roughly a meter in length, still very young. At this stage, they're vulnerable, not just to each other, but to the environment itself. Flipper's engaging immediately. No disorientation, that's what we like to see. Already grouping. They're staying mid-water, orienting themselves. That third one is a little zippy. That's the acclimatization phase. They're mapping the space. Depth, boundaries, light gradients, every movement is information. No signs of distress, no surface gasping. It's interesting they're circling together. Could be early stage grouping behavior, or just mutual orientation in an unfamiliar environment. Hard to say at this stage. But it's a good sign, means they're thinking, not panicking. They'll take a few hours to fully settle. For now, they're alive, stable, and adapting. That's about as much as you can ask for on day one.
Look, it's gone offline. That's the aviary grid gone. Whole sector just dropped off.
You're joking.
Nope. Power loss along the jungle river line. Looks like a localized failure, though.
How localized?
Just the aviary and a branch into Sauropod Swamp. Everything else is still holding.
The RAP defenses aren't out, are they?
No, probably a lightning strike, downed relay, something along the river run.
And the aviary fence?
No current. It's dead until I reroute auxiliary power.
How long will that take?
A couple minutes, assuming the backup holds.
That's a couple minutes too long.
I'm already cycling it through, Muldoon.
Keep it moving. I want that grid live again before anything decides to test it. I'm heading over to the aviary before it starts raining. Which sent the power out across the aviary. Grid's gone quiet, and that's not something I like hearing from a place like this. These enclosures are designed with layers. Redundancy, fail-safes, deterrence. Take the current out of it, even for a few minutes, and suddenly you're relying on steel and hope. Storm must have hit something upstream, lightning strike most likely. You can smell it in the air. Burnt insulation somewhere. Whatever it was, it's taken the fence with it. That changes things. Animals like these, they don't need long. A lapse like this, even a short one, It's enough for them to test boundaries, see what's changed, see what's no longer stopping them. And I'm fearful about those teeth chewing on the wires while the power's dead. That's why I've got this. Shock prod, 3,000 volts, enough to...
Boom closed on your car? Good thing you're naked and can submit claims in minutes on the Naked app. Get naked.
And it's always 2, bro. 2 unskippable ads. I don't get it.
To keep the birds away while Ray works on restoring the power.
Muldoon, you've reached the aviary?
I'm at the roost now. No hum from the fence. No charge, just dead metal.
That's not good. Okay, working on it.
See them roosting? I don't want to use my torch if I don't have to, because I don't want to startle them. They are crepuscular animals, meaning they aren't technically nocturnal, but they are active during periods of low light, dawn or dusk, which coincides with their chosen prey settling as the light fades. So they aren't exactly sleeping yet, more just huddled together during a storm and alert. Crepuscular, but opportunistic.
Oh.
The roost should be a place of rest, shelter, but right now, it looks more like a gallery of gargoyles. Ray?
Muldoon, we're seeing outages across multiple sectors. Just need a little bit more time. I'm routing auxiliary power now, but it's not instant. Gonna take a few minutes to bring the aviary sector back online.
How long?
Couple minutes, maybe 3. Systems have to cycle. Stand by, Muldoon.
Speed it up, Ray. I'm not keen on standing next to an unpowered aviary in a storm.
Understood. Power's rerouting now. You should see partial restoration any moment now. Full charge shortly after.
Oh, we lost something.
Oh,
Christ. Back up. Go on, get back.
Okay, something's back online. There's still a few... Needs manual restart. I can't get that done from control.
Looks fine to me, Ray. I can see the fence lights are on.
That's indicating system ready. There's an electrical substation near the aviary. I can talk you through it.
You're going to have to. This is not my area of expertise.
Don't worry, it's easy.
Where's the substation?
Turn left. You'll see a path. Follow the path.
I can see the substation.
Takes a few pumps, then restart the line to the aviary grid.
Yep. Hey, is this fuse box supposed to be open? I can smell burnt meat. Oh, God. You seeing this, Ray?
Is that a compy?
Yep, and she's cooked.
Oh, man.
Think we know what caused the power outage here.
Bloody hell. Don't touch it, Muldoon.
You don't say. Just another thing to add to your glitch list, Ray.
damn.
This isn't going to be some underground labyrinth like the maintenance shed again, is it, Ray?
No, it's just a room at the bottom of the stairs.
Okay. Going down. Quick check beneath the stairs. All clear. Christ, Ray, there's a really bad smell down here. Yeah, I've tried that already. What now?
It's a gray box with 2 columns of 3 dials in it.
Christ, give me a second.
Gotta be more specific, bro.
I think I've found the one.
Okay, those are the primer dials. Start with the top one and then... Oh, I've got one of the surveillance cams back online. I can see you. I didn't even realize there was a cam down there.
Marvelous. Now tell me what I'm supposed to be doing, because that smell is bloody overpowering.
Yep. Turn the top dial to the bottom position first. That isolates the main feed. We don't want to surge when auxiliary power kicks in.
Done. What next?
There should be a secondary switch panel just below. Again, 3 toggles in a row.
I see them.
Flip the middle one first. That engages the backup relay.
Middle switch is up.
Good. You should hear a hum start to build.
I hear flies buzzing.
Now wait 2 seconds, then bring the left switch up. That'll route power to the aviary sector.
Left switch is up.
Alright, we're halfway there. Voltage is climbing on my end. Final step, turn the bottom dial slowly clockwise until you hear it lock.
There.
That's it. Auxiliary grid is live.
I'll take your word for it.
You should see the fence outside begin to. Muldoon, is Robbie with you?
What? No.
Turn around, bro.
Then who's that behind you?
What?
You going back home for the games?
Oh, I wish.
Hey!
Oh my god. Muldoon! Muldoon, I'm sending a team your way.
Back! Get back! Back! Back!
Ooh.
Look exactly like one of our raptors.
Jeez.
Same build, same markings. I don't recognize you, poor soul.
I'm telling you, there's an animal in that shed that is not in my system.
It's not possible. Every specimen is accounted for. Every genome is controlled.
Then explain how Muldoon gets hit by a raptor that doesn't exist on the grid.
Misidentification, stress, poor visibility.
He knows these animals better than anyone on this island.
Gentlemen, please. This is precisely the sort of incident one expects in a facility of this scale.
With respect, John, I don't expect animals appearing where they're not supposed to be.
They cannot breed. That's the end of it. Lysine contingency, engineered sterility, it's all in place.
All right. How do I report this? What exactly am I supposed to tell InJet?
Tell them the system's wrong. That's the only explanation I've got.
The system is not wrong.
Then something else is.
We are not going to escalate this into a catastrophe. Not over a single incident.
It's not a single incident, John. Manuel fell off the retaining wall. Gonzalez was electrocuted. Mendez was killed in the aviary. Andre thankfully didn't lose his life when the big raptor escaped the pen. Now, there's been a workman dead in that shed for God knows how long, that no one in this room even knows. If Muldoon wasn't armed, he'd be on that list too. Do you know what this means?
What exactly?
It means we don't have control, Ed.
We have absolute control.
We have more immediate problems to take care of, like the...
Bloody idiots.
Did it get you?
No. Thankfully, I had my shock prod on me. Otherwise
it would have. have ended you.
Exactly. Double, thankfully, didn't know what the shock prod was and became curious enough for me to attack it.
You know what they say about curiosity?
Yep. Curiosity killed the compy.
That's right. Good thing you stood your ground with that raptor. Sometimes I think they behave like a pack of wolves. Had you attempted to run, it triggers their pursuit instinct.
That's what I was thinking the whole time. Pretend to be threatening to it and hopefully it backs down. I don't think it had much contact with humans, or that it didn't know how to battle outside of a pack setting.
And you don't know where it came from?
No, our 3 raptors are accounted for as of right now, and trying to bring this up with control is useless because John and Henry are adamant that they have complete control. This time, at the very least, it was on surveillance cam for all of them to see.
Yeah, look. They may say things to you in order to maintain work ethic and a sense of order, but John's going to make his vision for the park come to fruition, even if it kills him. I'm just glad you weren't injured. I can fly back over to Nublar soon if you want to have a talk.
No, Tony. Actually, I need you on Sauna for just a little longer if you don't mind. Can you do me a favor?
Of course. What do you need?
I need you and I to have a video call again, only this time I need you to show me Sauna's raptor population. I want to know exactly what they look like.
Yeah, easy done.
Perfect. Okay, I'll call you later on to organize that. Right now we're on Storm Aftermath Protocol, so there's a lot I have to attend to.
Try now Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, a formula boosted with calcium for 24-hour cavity defense.
That's the Sigma Busan. It all comes down to the penalty kick. Pagata box in it. What's Sobono?
Yes, today. Every 3 minutes? Nah, bro. I'm not YouTube.
Visibility's poor. Storm stirred up the entire water column. Filtration's lagging.
Video is 3 hours, bro.
Where are you?
How many ads I'm gonna see?
No. Oh.
I died.
Oh, God. No. Eyes gone cloudy. That's heat stress. Power outage last night, of course. Aviary grid failed. Same line that feeds the heating apparatus down here. No circulation, no thermal control. Left them to cook in the tank. There should have been redundancies. There should have been alarms. My fault for not checking sooner. You deserved better than this. Beautiful animals. But there were 3. Water's too murky to see the full depth. Could be deeper, tucked into a trench somewhere. They're resilient at this age, so I'm hoping if it found a cooler pocket, a lower thermocline, it could still be alive. Come on, you're in here somewhere.
Let's hope.
Yes, Muldoon?
Ray, can you count the plesiosaurs for me, please?
Yep. 0, Muldoon. What happened?
The power outage cut the tank heaters overnight.
Oh, God.
But I can only see 2 of them.
I can see the 3rd one. Oh, God.
That's it. You're right above her. Filter's been running for several hours now, and the water is finally becoming clearer. Bloody hell, didn't stand a chance, did you? Captivity is a fragile equation. You get one variable wrong, temperature, salinity, oxygenation, it all collapses. Young ones are affected the quickest. They don't adapt. They don't compensate. They just die.
Were they adults, I'm quite confident that they would have survived the night. We build these enclosures, tell ourselves they're controlled environments, safe, predictable, but the truth is, they're only as good as the systems behind them, and the people watching those systems. Power goes out, everything stops. Heat climbs, water stagnates, and they pay for it. I should have checked down here the moment the aviary went down. Same network, didn't even cross my mind. And that's on me. You rely on infrastructure long enough, you forget how quickly it all unravels. This isn't a jungle, there's no margin for error here. And they don't get a second chance. Storm's done quite some damage. We're lucky these trees didn't cut power to this fence. We would be in a world of trouble. Oh God. Is she? That doesn't look good. Hey, big girl. Not good. Control, Rex Paddock, I need you on this now.
Go ahead, Muldoon.
Storm's dropped a tree inside the enclosure, big one. The trunks come down on the adult Rex, pinning her in place.
You certain it's not just sheltering?
Shelter? Negative. There's no movement at all, not responsive to noise too. I want a team here with lifting gear, immediately.
That's going to be a problem. Maintenance crews are spread across the island. Fences, power relays, road clearance, everyone's tied up.
Then free someone up.
I don't have that flexibility right now. We're still stabilizing core systems.
You're telling me we leave the adult Rex pinned under a tree while we sort out fence posts?
I'm telling you, resources are thin at the moment, Muldoon.
I feel like I don't have to tell you that this takes priority, Ray. But you feel free to inform Hammond that the park's rock star attraction died.
All right, I'll reroute what I can. Give me 10 minutes.
Make it 5.
I'll do what I can.
Do better than that. Sheltering. What the hell is wrong with people?
Sorry, Muldoon. I got here as quick as I could. Control is chaos at the moment. But I took the young Rex into the holding pen.
Good work, Robbie.
Wow.
That's 709 with you, right?
Yep.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Robbie, stay close.
She's breathing.
She is breathing. That's a good sign. Come.
Muldoon, you think she could actually be sleeping?
Doubt she chose to sleep under a fallen tree. My guess is she was on the ground last night, resting, and the wind toppled the tree on her. She may be unconscious. Few more yards and you're inside her reach. Whether she's conscious or not, you want to keep your distance away from the jaws, away from the hind legs and tail. A lot of power back there too.
Hard to believe something that size can just go down like this.
It doesn't usually. Takes something external. Storm did the work for us this time.
If she's unconscious, you still want her sedated?
Always. Unconscious isn't the same as controlled. An animal this large can come around without warning.
Right.
When you do have to dart one, you don't panic. You pick your spot, plenty of muscle, flank, thigh, base of the tail.
The neck?
Too much movement, too much bone. You miss your angle, you lose the shot. Go for mass, you get faster absorption.
Yep.
You aim between the scales. There are seams, natural gaps. That's where the dart really bites.
Didn't think about that.
Most people don't. They see a target, not an animal. That's how you make mistakes.
How long does it take to bring something like her down?
Depends on the dose, placement, circulation. Could be seconds, could be minutes. With a Rex, you assume the longer end and plan accordingly.
And if she wakes while we're working?
Then it's already gone wrong. That's why we double check before anyone touches that tree.
Understood.
Okay, lift. That's it. Robbie gave her the 709 about an hour ago, and we watched her until the crane arrived. Dart to the base of the tail where the muscle is thick and circulation is unhindered. She didn't even flinch, nothing, not even a tail twitch. We took the opportunity to examine her body as best as we could, without the ability to shift her. Nothing out of the ordinary. There's a scratch here and there from the tree branches, but no major signs of distress. Her breathing was normal, deep and rhythmic, congruent with a sleeping animal. I didn't expect her to wake. Daytime is sleep time for the Rexes. So we'll have to wait until dusk to really assess her. She's finally up. Tree came down right across her back while she was resting. Didn't even have time to react. A weight like that pins the torso, restricts leverage. Animal her size still needs footing to push free. So she didn't. She just laid there. Metabolism slowed, breathing shallow, and she slept through it. Would have been different if it came down on her head and struck her skull. Different outcome entirely. But she's moving now. Slow, deliberate pacing. If she were concussed, you'd see disorientation, missed steps, failure to focus. Limp too, if there was any structural damage. But there's none of that. She just seems more wary, a little apprehensive maybe. Like she's now aware that her surroundings can pose a threat to her. Hence why she's staying up near the fence and not at the tree line. Poor girl. Took the hit, endured it, and carried on. That's the thing about predators like her. They don't break easily.
Sometimes in life, you just don't know.
All the sightings are linked to the drainage system, Robbie. I just don't have an explanation for what keeps happening. I need answers, and I know I'm not going to get them from the control room.
You've definitely got some balls on you, Muldoon, I'll say that much.
Yeah.
If I were attacked by a raptor, I definitely wouldn't be down here trying to understand it all.
I haven't seen the drainage system from this angle. I'm sure it's seen better days. From memory, there should be a long tunnel heading under all the way through the swamp.
What exactly are we looking for?
No idea, Robbie. Just something to make sense of things. I can't see any further. Hope you're okay with getting your feet wet.
Well, we're here now.
That's the spirit, Robbie. All right, Robbie?
Yeah. It didn't get wet.
Okay, let's continue.
What do you think, Muldoon?
I don't think that's where we should... No, let's continue this way.
You should have seen the control room today, Muldoon. It was like a madhouse. John and Ray were at each other's necks over this power outage. Ed Regis was making calls like a headless chook.
I guess no one was prepared for large parts of the electrical grid to go under. Good thing the Rex and Raptor fences weren't affected. That would have put us in a world of trouble.
Absolutely. John was like, how do you just lose a sauropod, Ray?
I think I know exactly where we are. Watch your head, Robbie. Mind your footing down here. Yep, asset unknown was first sighted right here.
Okay, which only tells us that it came from the river and not much else.
This is true, but we can... What the hell?
Oh, wow.
Well, there's Ray's missing sauropod.
She must have tried to cross the fence when the power was down.
Christ. That means both enclosures are now compromised until we... Oh, God.
Big Gal's pushed herself into the Metri paddock. That's not good.
Robbie, give me the trank. Get a cow in the Metri paddock.
Yep.
hell was that? Was that the monkey?
Being the first looks different for everyone. For some, there was guidance.
I fired a few blanks from the trank, removed the darts, and you get a high-pressure thud sound from the weapon. Scared the Metri feeding on the sauropod at the river away from the compromised fence. Robbie's released a cow, and yes, he informed me her name was Mildred. I'm using her to lure all 4 of our Metria canthosaurs into their holding pen until that fence is mended. I've got one of the girls up here, but I'm not going to introduce the prey item just yet, because this girl right here has a very weird tendency that I want to avoid at a time like this. We call her Mary, and her weird tendency is dragging feed to a shaded corner in the paddock. Same spot every time. At first we thought it was simply a preference, like a leopard will drag a kill up a tree to feed. Turns out it was doing something called caching, saving food, planning ahead. That's not something you expect from an animal like this. Means it's thinking beyond the current moment, and that's where it gets dangerous. You can predict hunger. You can't always predict intent, though. Got some more interest in Bessie now. The prey's scent is hopefully strong enough to lure all of them to the fence and move them away from the fence on the river. She's a little confused since we don't normally bring prey in between the paddock and the handler's corridor. They are normally fed in their holding pen. That's what they've been conditioned to expect. So this is a little abnormal to them. Herding them into their pen is the only thing I could think of in a pinch while we sort out this fence breach. She's locked onto the scent but isn't entirely sure how to approach her prey. She's looking for guidance from Mary. Good thing about the Metriacanthosaurs is, despite their unnerving predatory formidability, they are relatively good in terms of learning, as far as a bird or reptile can learn, that is. Now, I'm not talking about an African grey parrot level of learning, but since they've only ever been conditioned to expect prey when it's in their holding pen, I'm kind of exploiting that fact and in some ways reverse engineering their understanding. Where you would teach a pet cat to associate its bowl with eating, with repetition the cat will learn that his bowl means food and anticipate feeding in the presence of said bowl. What I'm doing here is presenting the food, making sure the cow's scent is spread, then asking the Metries to go to their holding pen in anticipation of feeding. A reverse association. Thankfully, conditioning is effective. So sorry to wake you, girl. Okay, that's 3. One more, the one from the river. She's definitely taking her sweet time. The last Metri is the youngest, and what that normally means in terms of behavioral consistency is she is the most unruly. One positive about her is her olfactory senses should be the strongest of the group, so I know that she's aware of the cow. Here we go, finally got eyes on her. Or perhaps it's more accurate to say that she's got eyes on me. This is a great example of the unruly behavior of young animals. She's insisting on predation because her conditioning is still somewhat flexible in her understanding, not as rigid as the adults. Oh wow, that's not something you see every day. Christ. Now here's something all mothers are intimately familiar with. This is teething in a young dinosaur. At her age, she'll chew on just about anything she can get her jaws around. New teeth coming through, old edges wearing down. gums get irritated. So they work them against branches, fallen logs, anything with resistance. Gnawing helps seat the teeth properly, keeps the bite in line.
Only Gaviscon forms a Gavisstop barrier to stop heartburn fast and stop it coming back.
Just because you interrupted, I'll never buy a product.
Muldoon, you reading me?
Go ahead, Regis.
Just, checking in. How are you holding up after the substation incident?
I'm operational.
Right. Well, we haven't seen much of you in control lately.
I've been in the field.
Yes, I gathered that.
Robert, good to hear your voice.
John?
I'll get to it then. I've been asked to handle the consequences of what happened.
Go on.
The animal, Raptor, has been transferred to Isla Sorna. As for the body, we've got an identification. Crewman of the NB, the supply ship between Nublar and Punta Arenas on the mainland.
How did he get into the substation?
We still don't know that part. We searched the vessel, every compartment, every container, nothing out of place.
Another dead end.
We were quite thorough, Muldoon.
Not thorough enough.
Gentlemen.
John, I'm just trying to establish.
I know what you're trying to do, Ed. Robert, listen to me.
I'm listening.
What happened here, these incidents, they're unfortunate, yes, of course, but not unexpected in a venture of this magnitude.
Several people are dead.
And that will be handled properly and respectfully, but we cannot allow setbacks to define the entire enterprise.
This wasn't a setback, John. It was a breach.
Which is exactly why we need to control the narrative going forward.
Narrative won't fix the system, Ed.
The system will be refined. That's the point of all this. Catching the glitches to implement improvements.
Improvements come after you understand the failure, John.
And we're working on that, Muldoon. We're taking this seriously. We've flagged the incident. Computer systems are being reviewed.
Robert, I don't want you dwelling on this.
With respect, John, I don't have that luxury.
Your focus should be forward, making this park the best it can be.
That requires knowing exactly what we're dealing with.
We're containing it, Muldoon, as best as we can. We're a skeleton crew at the moment, but InGen has been notified and is investigating.
So we proceed. Let's get back to schedule. Schedule.
Aye, aye, Captain. Is there anything else? Because I have some work to do.
No, Muldoon. Just wanted to check up on you and keep you informed.
Robert, let me leave you with something for you to ponder. Creation is an act of sheer will. Take care.
Will doesn't stop them getting out. Procedure does.
So sorry I'm late, Muldoon. I got caught up with a baby carnotaur that nipped a hatchery assistant.
That's fine, Tony.
You wanted to see the raptors here. I'm heading up the access stairs now. Catwalk gives the best view over the enclosure.
How many have you gotten there?
9 in total, 3 males, 6 females. Stable hierarchy for now.
I'm curious to see a male, Tony.
You'll notice the difference immediately. They're sexually dimorphic. Males are more flamboyant. We call it the peacock effect. Brighter patterning, more contrast along the flanks and tail.
Display animals then.
Exactly. Visual signaling, courtship, dominance, the works. We might have picked the worst day for this. Storms rolling in from the east. Skies darkening. Pressure drop like this usually shifts their behavior.
In what way?
Less roaming, more clustering, sometimes heightened vocalization, depends on the group.
You seeing any of them?
Not yet. Dense cover down there. They use the tree line to stay out of sight. Very deliberate about it. I'll move around to open up a better angle for you.
Tony, the Raptor we sent over last week from the electrical substation incident.
Yes, I saw the intake report.
What did you make of it?
We examined it on arrival. Female. No anomalies beyond the electrical burns, of course.
It looked exactly like one of ours.
That's because it is. Genetically speaking, same line. Still nothing in view. They're keeping low today.
Tony, what do you know about their swimming abilities?
Swimming?
Long-distance swimming.
They're competent swimmers, sure. But long distance, we haven't really observed or tested for that.
Hypothetically?
Hypothetically, I'd say limited. They're not built for endurance in open water.
You're certain?
Reasonably certain. Why are you asking?
Just covering possibilities.
Possibilities of what?
You're confident they can't get out of that enclosure?
Here? Yes. Barriers are intact, terrain's controlled, they're definitely contained.
We could use some of that here, that's for sure.
There's a viewing window at ground level, might get lucky there.
Anything?
Yes, there. Finally. That's a male.
God, how did you spot that?
Look at the tiger pattern. Much more pronounced than the female. A female's approaching.
Is he courting her?
Yep, courtship display. His name is Evo. He's the alpha of the pack. See the posture? Head low, tail elevated. There's a lot of bowing motions involved. He's presenting his colors.
Showing off.
Precisely. He'll circle her, exaggerate his markings. It's about visibility, contrast, motion, signaling his fitness, visually and through scent.
Just like birds, and she decides.
Entirely. If she's receptive, she'll mirror certain movements and what looks like nuzzling, but it's sniffing their compatibility.
Intelligent behavior.
Highly intelligent. This isn't random instinct. There's sequencing, response, adaptation.
Coordination.
Yes. Watch, he's adjusting based on her position. He remains lateral to her to display his colors. You can see that olfactory stimulation plays a big role.
Remarkable.
People expect monsters. What they get is something far more complex.
That's what concerns me. Keep me updated if you discover anything new with the transferred raptor.
Will do.
Thanks for your time, Tony.
No problem, Muldoon. Oh, and happy Halloween for tomorrow.
Thank you, BTS. How many hours? Yo, 1 hour and 36 minutes. Shoo!
Found one injured on the ground.
Oh my God. Christ, they've killed her.
Oh my god. They're eating her.
Where's the youngster? I didn't realize they were cannibals. Okay, Sam, just approach slowly, and the headlights should scare them off. Yep, that's it. The youngest one's already headed for the holding pen.
They don't seem to care, Muldoon.
Try the horn, Sam. Yep, that'll get them moving. Mary is not happy, though.
She's being stubborn again.
Hold the horn down. That's the way. Sam, I'm confused. I led them to their pen yesterday. Did you release them again?
No, Muldoon. I was on the service road and heard roaring. Sounded like they were fighting, so I approached and found one on the ground.
Okay, follow them around, please. I don't understand how they got back into their enclosure. I locked the gate yesterday behind me. I'm sure of it.
They're all inside now, Muldoon. Gate's locked.
Just wait there 1 minute for me, Sam. I want to check something. 1, 2, and 3. The young Metriacanthosaur has claimed that femur for herself. She's still gnawing on it. Wonder if she knows she's eating her sister. They've been together for a while now. Blasted savages. Sam, you're certain you or anyone else didn't open these gates yesterday or earlier today?
Absolutely positive, Muldoon.
I want to take a quick look at the fence.
Knock yourself out.
There's no way I left it open. We might have to consider individual separation. Now we know they're cannibals. The fence looks sound to me. Maybe picked the worst weather to be doing this. Sam, maybe when this rainstorm passes.
That would be a good idea, Muldoon.
John's going to love hearing this. Not much left of this girl. It is odd, though, now that I think about it, how much they consumed of her, especially after being fed a cow. You'd think they were starving. Granted, other animals may well have scavenged on the carcass overnight. However, I do remember the Metri's head was still intact when Sam was driving them away. So something's definitely... unless...
Hi, Muldoon.
Morning, Jerry. I need your opinion. Komodo dragon.
You found one on Nublar?
No. But is it the Komodo that has a septic bite, or am I thinking of another animal altogether?
No, you're right. Komodo dragons possess tissue necrotizing bacteria in their mouths.
Their bites begin dissolving their prey.
Correct.
Jerry, we had an incident last night. The Metriacanthosaurs seem to have turned on one of their own.
You're kidding.
I wish I was. I'm looking at the carcass right now.
God.
It's been stripped down pretty clean.
And you think they've got a septic bite? Remember, Muldoon, compies, for example, would have taken the opportunity to scavenge.
Absolutely, Jerry, though it can't all be the compies. Some bones have signs of chewing, which a compy's jaw is incapable of. Plus, they seem to be here more for the flies anyway.
If you believe the Metries have a septic bite, you know what you need to do, don't you?
God, no, Jerry.
Exactly. Saliva collection.
I'm not going anywhere near any one of their mouths. The footage from Halloween night was unremarkable, to say the very least. The usual critters attended to the carcass: possums, compies, rodents. But they did what they had evolved to do. They slowly nibbled away at the Metriacanthosaur.
New Domestos Powerful is turning the germ world upside down.
There's still the mystery as to how the Metriacanthosaurs left their holding pen. Now, I've double-checked the pen fence in the light of day, and nothing seems out of order. There's only one way to control the pen gates, and that's over here in the handler's corridor. These electric controls maintain the Metriacanthosaur paddock, as well as the Dilophosaur enclosure, with their respective holding pen. There are no cameras facing this switch box, so I can't tell who opened the Metri pen. Sam said he didn't, and I believe him. Control issued an alert to all personnel that the Metris are to remain within their holding pen until the Apatosaur on the river is removed and the fence is back online. The only thing I'm concerned about is the power outage possibly affected more electronic gates like the holding pen here, but no one's flagged this as down. But the electronics are enclosed here, so I'm not worried about rain affecting the circuitry. The youngster's teeth are still causing her trouble. The footage of the holding pen showed the gate opening a little earlier that night, before Sam had witnessed the cannibalism. Mary, of course, is then seen leading the group out into their enclosure. But after that, I couldn't make out what spurred on the attack. Well, there's definitely a sight you don't see every day. Hammond in the field amongst his creations. Poor bugger looks completely out of place. Old billionaire in white sticking out like a sore thumb in the wild. At the very least, he's seeing these animals in real life and not through a computer screen. Probably giving Harding an earful.
Hammond.
Good morning, John.
Ah, Robert. How are you, good sir?
Fantastic.
I'm with Jerry. I tell you what, Robert. This past month has been quite depressing.
Is that so?
What with all these losses, 8 raptors down to 3, all the new pliosaurs, a cooked compy, a brontosaurus, a
Metriacanthosaur.
Yes, that one. And now one sick triceratops.
She's been sick for a while, actually. And I thought you were going to refer to your other losses.
My other losses?
Oh, you know, all the human casualties we've had.
Oh, Robert, you know very well I consider them losses. Very personal losses, in fact. I'm referring to park assets.
I don't know, John. I'd consider Manuel and Gonzalez and Mendez and...
Yes, of course, Robert.
Oh, well, that's good then, John.
It's very different standing here with them.
Bit different to seeing them on a spreadsheet, isn't it, John?
I'm just happy these herbivores are nice and placid enough to have park guests approach and pat them.
You're joking.
Not at all, Robert. We'll have a safari-style exhibition where tour vehicles can drive through the herbivore exhibits.
John.
Picture it, Robert. Kids reaching from the vehicle windows and touching creatures that have only lived in their imaginations.
That sounds like a horrible idea.
Everything sounds like a horrible idea to you, Robert. I said the herbivores, not the carnivores. I'm not senile.
I don't remember you ever approaching the elephants at Animal Kingdom in Africa, John. Herbivores.
John, can you please ask Muldoon if he can come check on her a little later? One of two to return to her today. Robert, Jerry says please check on this asset.
Animal.
Animal a little later. He's given her an injection.
Will do. Oh. Chirping?
Yeah, like bird chirps at that door.
Well, I'll have to have a look down there again.
If you go, tell me and I'll go with you. How was the surgery?
Apparently it was chaos. Harding's going to show me something now, so I'll find you later, Robbie.
Okay, sure.
Bye. How is she, Jerry?
She's sedated, and my guess is she's got another hour minimum.
So they found them then?
They found them all right. Bilateral glands inferior to the tongue in a pocket in the mandible.
That's good then, Jerry. Now we have evidence of their dangerous capabilities.
I think we got all the evidence we could hope for, Muldoon. Come check this out.
Easy, easy. Keep the incision narrow. We're not here to butcher the specimen.
Beginning retraction.
Retractor.
More delicate. Around the laryngeal tissue, please. If venom production exists, it'll be somewhere in this region.
There's significant vascularization here.
Yes, I can see that. Suction.
Suction ready.
Tissue's unusually dense.
Fascinating.
Heart rate stable.
Carefully now. I want the membrane exposed intact.
I'm trying, Dr. Wu, but the musculature's tightening.
It's reflexive. The animal's fully sedated.
Respiration dipping slightly.
Increase oxygen flow.
There's a sac-like structure here.
Hold that position. Don't rupture it.
Recording marker 1422.
This may be it. Magnify the field.
It's connected deeper than we thought.
Yes, there's glandular tissue beneath.
Sir, throat movement.
That's impossible. Sedation levels are well above.
Convulsing.
Hold the head still.
Jaw movement.
Damn it. Restraint slipping. Oh, Christ.
Doctor, it got Alfie. It got him in the face.
My eyes. Jesus Christ, my eyes.
Get water on him now. Flush immediately.
He's bleeding.
It burns. It
Move
burns.
him away from the table.
The animal's thrashing. Restraint failure on the left side.
More sedative now.
Dosage?
I don't care. Double it.
I can't see.
Keep its mouth
Watch
shut.
the head. Watch the head.
It struck Alfie.
Get it off me.
Push the table back. Back.
Sedative loaded.
Inject through the thigh. Don't go near the neck.
Bleeding from the
I
incision.
said hold it still.
Injection in.
Again.
Pulse climbing rapidly.
Again.
It's slowing.
Keep everyone back.
Somebody help.
Continue flushing his eyes. Do not stop.
Animals stabilizing.
Stop the recording.
Recording terminated. 1427.
What was Wu doing in there?
He flew a special team in from the US to conduct the surgery and had them sign an NDA rather than letting the park vet stand in, at the very least.
Did the sedative wear off during the surgery, Jerry?
No, it spat completely involuntarily. The surgeons must have touched something in the area, and the Dilo spit, hitting one of them in the face. Help me move her, Muldoon.
I completely forgot, Robbie.
It's fine, Muldoon.
Jerry asked me to check on her again, and it utterly left my mind.
I'll head there now.
Thank you, Robbie.
No worries. Have a good night.
Night, Robbie. It does make me nervous that a Metri was eaten, and what's more, they are now forced to be cooped together in their holding pen in constant proximity to each other until that river fence is fixed. Ray Arnold has assured me the Metri count is still 3, but I've long given up on those computers. I'll take my own head count, thank you.
Try new Colgate Total Decay and Enamel Defense. It fortifies your teeth against cavities and acid damage.
there's Mary and her sister. And the youngster is where exactly? No way. Oh, God. Oh, Christ.
Hey, girl. Poor thing. What are you two doing? Okay, not good. Just back away slowly, Robbie. Keep your eyes on the enclosure. Oh my God.
Where are you?
Muldoon?
Ray, I need you to jump into home range data and tell me where the youngest Metriacanthosaur is immediately.
Aren't they all in their holding pen?
The galvanized steel has been chewed through. The other two are still inside, but I don't want to make assumptions and go running around through the enclosure until your computer updates me on her location.
Pulling it up now, Muldoon. What timestamp?
I don't know. I was last here at about 10:30 a.m.
Okay. Yeah, I see it now. She passes from the holding pen into the enclosure at 8:39 p.m.
Where is she now?
She heads through the enclosure and down to the river, and by 8:46, she's entered the water, and I can't see her until...
Hurry, Ray.
She's at the raptor feeder right now.
Raptor feeder, got it.
Muldoon!
What is it?
Robbie's there.
What?
She's heading for him.
Robbie. Ray, animal out of containment. Send a capture team to the raptor enclosure immediately.
Back.
Oh, it kind of scared. Oh, you dead. It's gonna be a jump scare. so lucky.
I've given him a drink, so he should be fine, Ray.
Okay, thank God. What an ordeal for the poor guy.
Oh, don't underestimate Robbie. He's a tough one, Ray.
I'll say.
Did you guys separate those two?
The capture team arrived to find Lady Margaret had gouged the young Metri to death.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's dead.
And have you informed Hammond?
He's still sleeping. I'm not looking forward to telling him, though.
Okay, we'll head over in a little bit. Robbie and I have some catching up to do first.
Okay, I need to get a crane over to them, so I'll see you later, Muldoon.
All right. Bottoms up, Robbie.
Stimmerol, flavor the moment.
I still can't believe I'm sitting here.
Neither can I.
I thought I was finished.
Tell me what happened.
She popped up near the raptor enclosure. 1 second I was on my feet. Next second I was scrambling on the ground. I kept thinking if I had just a few extra seconds, I could have made it to the Jeep and gotten out of there.
When you have to make a decision in a fraction of a second, that's when panic sets in.
I made a break for the trike enclosure. I could hear it moving around me, branches snapping, then nothing.
Silence.
Worse than any noise. Every instinct was telling me to just run.
Good thing you didn't. Almost certainly would have been your demise.
So what would have been the best thing to do?
It depends on the animal. Most lion attacks are bluff charges. Not all, but many.
So stand your ground.
Stand your ground. Make yourself look larger. Back away slowly. Running triggers pursuit.
Right.
Hippo's different. If a hippo decides you're the problem, you've already made several mistakes. They're responsible for more deaths in Africa than all carnivorous predators.
So what do you do with them?
Find an obstacle, tree, termite mound, vehicle, anything that forces it to maneuver.
I heard they're fast.
Faster than you, that's for sure. Bears depend on species. Black bears make noise, stand tall. Grizzlies, sometimes playing dead works.
Sometimes?
Advice gets people killed when they think nature follows set rules. Nature follows probabilities.
And the Metriacanthosaur?
That's the problem, Robbie. We don't know enough yet.
You always know something.
Not enough to be comfortable. From what I've observed, younger animals are the most dangerous.
More dangerous than the adults?
In some ways, yes. Adults establish routines, territories, preferences, likes, dislikes. You can observe them and gauge some picture of what may or may not work with individual animals.
They become predictable.
Predictable is a strong word when it comes to animal behavior, Robbie. The juveniles, however, are curious, impulsive, constantly testing things.
Including people.
Especially people.
So what should I have done? I started flashing my flashlight.
The torch.
Yeah, in repeated bursts. It seemed to confuse it.
That's consistent with what we've seen.
Really?
The species appears uncomfortable around sudden bright light.
Sensitive vision, maybe?
Possibly.
So the flashlight helped.
Sounds like it did.
It stopped advancing.
Then I'd say you interrupted whatever decision-making process it was going through.
That's a polite way of saying it wanted to eat me.
More likely investigate you.
That's not reassuring.
No.
What about playing dead, Muldoon?
I wouldn't recommend it. Predators investigate carrion all the time.
Right.
Besides, if the animal's curious rather than aggressive, lying motionless simply gives it time to examine you.
That somehow sounds worse. So stand still, keep the light on, don't run.
That's what I'd try.
Try?
Robbie, nobody on this island has extended experience dealing with metriacanthosaurs, or any of our animals for that matter.
Good point.
We're all learning. They conduct research over months and months of observation over on Sorna, but the truth is, new behaviors will appear all the time. We're all still learning.
Nearly learned the hard way tonight.
Very nearly.
You sound bothered.
Robbie.
Probably more bothered that the Metri got killed because of me.
If anything, the Metri died because of me. Harding asked me to check on the sick trike, and I delegated that to you. Accidents happen, but the Metri didn't die because of you, Robbie. I'm far more concerned about losing you. I've buried enough men in my career. Tonight could have gone very differently. One wrong turn, one moment of panic, and we'd be having a completely different conversation. Namely, one involving me sending prayers over your grave, if she had left anything of you to bury, that is.
I'm touched, Muldoon. Guess I got lucky.
Luck played a part, but you also kept your head.
Barely.
Doesn't matter, you did. I'm grateful you're still here, Robbie.
I have you to thank for that, Muldoon. That's why I'm constantly picking your brain. Got to hold on to all your teachings.
Germ protection with the odor neutralizing technology of new Protex Odor Control.
Gonna get neutral premium.
I was racing to that trike enclosure, and my only thought was how badly this could have ended.
Aw, bring it in, Muldoon.
Get off me.
Okay, we'll work on that.
You're clear, Robbie. Nice and slowly now. Okay, Robbie, just park there for a moment until they see it. Robert Muldoon, Game Warden, Isla Nublar, transportation procedure for the 12th of November, 1991. Here we go. Okay, Robbie, very slowly now. Juvenile brachiosaurs being transferred from their holding enclosure to their new home in Sauropod Swamp. They're about 3 years of age and 10 foot at the shoulder, but once fully grown, they'll become our tallest inhabitants here at the park. Like a lot of animals today, their coloration is unique when young, but they are expected to adhere to a full beige hide within a year or so. These girls cannot be contained or airlifted like some of the other animals, so we've decided to simply walk them over. Control has decided that they are of a good age and size now to begin integration into a more permanent home. I've decided it's best to take a service road, otherwise the journey's going to be half a day long. Distance isn't especially far down to the swamp, but with animals this size, even a short walk becomes an operation. One slow, controlled, methodical operation. These exercises are especially important during developmental years. People imagine giant animals are difficult because they can be slow. The challenge is keeping them on task. You can move a nervous carnivore with force if you absolutely must. A frightened sauropod is another matter entirely. Fear spreads through a herd almost instantly. One startles, the others react, and suddenly you've got 40 tons of panicking animal moving without direction. The beacon mounted to the Jeep here is doing most of the work. This is what's called sound conditioning, simple behavioral reinforcement. From hatchling stage onward, they are trained to associate a specific high-frequency wavelength with handler presence. It's a frequency that is inaudible to the human ear, but these girls can definitely hear it. Makes them willing to follow rather than resist. You can see the lead juvenile directly behind the Jeep there, largest of the group, confident temperament. Her name's Bianca. The others are orienting themselves around her automatically. That's herd structure forming in real time. Sauropods establish order surprisingly early in life. Not dominance through violence, more reassurance and movement cues. The rear female keeps drifting left. That's a nervous disposition. She's checking the perimeter every few seconds, likely reacting to unfamiliar terrain outside the enclosure boundary. That's very normal. Animals notice environmental changes immediately. Different sounds, smells, open spaces, things people ignore completely.
Watch this beat going home.
Okay, BTS, we get it.
You always do this to me, Daddy. No. What?
We'll give them about 20, Robbie, and then restart the beacon. Girls need a break. They don't normally walk this much, so I'm just being mindful of that. Walking them over is useful for inspection purposes too. Best chance you'll get to observe locomotion naturally. Usually, if I drive by their enclosure, they're standing in one location while they strip the leaves off all the surrounding trees. And I'll drive by a few hours later, and they're still in that same location. So waiting for locomotion to take place could take hours. This short walk over to the swamp is my best chance to study their gait. You learn everything from the biomechanics of movement. Best chance to notice if an animal's development is too fast, suboptimal, or wrong entirely. With animals growing this quickly, small problems become big problems very fast. That's the consequence of InGen's accelerated growth programs. Every species here carries modified developmental genetics. Faster maturity, faster mass gain, quicker route to exhibition. Fast-tracking their growth produces adult animals in sometimes half the time it would take them naturally. Problem is, biology doesn't always appreciate shortcuts. Muscles struggle to keep pace with skeletal expansion. Organs compensate under enormous metabolic strain. The genetics lab here is tasked with producing park-ready animals, and the animals are tasked with growing ahead of what their metabolism was designed to handle. And the worst effects will always be seen in the larger of the animals. The larger a species, the greater chance that structural deformities will develop down the line. And I fear some of these girls, especially Bianca, won't reach adulthood without some metabolic or musculoskeletal hindrance due to InGen's rapid growth regimen. It saddens me, but I'm also not naive enough to believe that this park, and all the preserves and zoos I've worked for in the past, could ever viably place animal welfare before profit margins. It's just not a functioning business model. Anyway, at Sauropod Swamp, the apatosaurs should already be in the northern grazing zone. Integration phase begins today. That'll require monitoring for several weeks. Herbivores aren't automatically peaceful simply because they eat plants. Large herd animals establish territory around food, water, and movement corridors. Adult apatosaurs outweigh these juveniles several times over. One defensive tail swing could break a spine. So introductions happen gradually. Visual contact first, shared vocal range next, eventually controlled grazing overlap. You let them become familiar without forcing proximity. That's how proper zoological management works. Slowly, carefully, consistently. The park likes spectacle, but spectacle's the easy part. Keeping animals alive, healthy, stable, that's the real work. Okay, Robbie, playtime's over. Fire her up.
Okay, try it now, Mr. Arnold.
It's all set on my end, Sam, but you'd have to test the controls from the switchboard.
Am I permitted to do so?
Yes, I've granted you permission.
Okay, and Mary and friends are all in the carnival house?
All inside now. I've got eyes on them.
Okay, I'll give the gate a go and radio you if it works.
Radio me if it works or doesn't work, Sam.
Yep, sure thing, Mr. Arnold. What the?
Không nghĩ cái lật.
He's asking for how much?
He wants 500 an hour for me to organize his travel too.
John, how much choice do we have? There's 3 Cray XMP supercomputers.
InGen doesn't want to foot the bill this time round.
Bro.
Can you do me a favor, Ray?
Guys. Give me 2 minutes, John. I'm waiting for a call from O'Donnell.
Are we really in the mouth of this creature? Okay. POV.
the Metri fence was mended, I asked O'Donnell to check the electronics. He then heads to the switch box. I keep calling and calling, but no response.
Everyone is to stay in the control room until we find him.
His lapel cam's currently offline too.
Michael, give me a glass of water.
Muldoon, I haven't shown John the footage yet, but you need to come back to control.
Mary. Still nothing, Ray?
Nothing.
Oh, cut the crap, Ray. You and I both know what happened to Sam.
Muldoon, I showed John the footage from the Metri paddock.
What did he say?
He's fairly upset.
Several people have died, and only now he's upset?
Sam was the son of one of his friends from the Hammond Foundation.
Now that it's slightly personal for him, he's upset?
Muldoon, I told him about your theory, that they have found a way out of their enclosure, and for once, I actually felt like he was listening. He wants to meet you at the raptor enclosure in an hour.
Okay.
I spoke to Sam's wife this morning. I told her he was missing, that there are ongoing efforts and we're still searching.
You told her that?
I didn't see the point in upsetting her before we had all the facts.
John, we have the facts.
We have grainy surveillance footage.
I found what was left of him. She deserves the truth.
I know.
Do you?
That's not fair, Robert. I knew Sam personally. He was a good worker.
He was more than that. His death isn't a report to be filed, John.
Don't imply I think that.
Then stop treating it like an inconvenience.
I'm trying to keep this park together.
And I'm trying to stop people from dying in it.
Get 2 large Savor Flavor pizzas for $179.80. Roman's Pizza. Best pizza, best value.
Stand a chance to win your share of 500,000 Rand in prizes. Join the Listerine 21-Day Challenge.
I'm at the north fence line.
Anything?
Nothing immediately obvious.
The raptors are still secure in the holding pen.
Yep, I can see them.
Then how did it happen?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Not the greatest weather for this.
It needs immediate attention, John.
Could there be a breach?
Maybe.
A tunnel?
Possibly.
Fence weakness?
Also possible.
But they're contained. I don't understand. If they can exit this enclosure, what in God's name would make them re-enter?
John, we need to talk about security.
All right.
I want every staff member trained with weapons.
No. No firearms for general staff.
This isn't negotiable anymore.
Guns everywhere is not the solution, Robert.
Then what is?
Better procedure, better containment.
Procedure has failed. Sam is dead because procedure has failed.
This park cannot operate like a military base, Robert.
Then it cannot operate. Period. Your staff are unprepared.
They're well trained.
They're trained to maintain attractions, like staff in a zoo. They don't know what to do when something hunts them.
We have response teams.
Not enough.
What exactly are you asking for, Robert?
Rifles, sidearms, tranquilizers, rocket launchers for the larger animals if needed.
Good God, Robert. More of your alarmism.
I'm serious.
You sound like you're preparing for war.
I am. Against complacency, I also want a mandatory meeting with all staff.
About what?
The raptors.
Muldoon.
How they hunt, how they stalk, what to do if one gets loose.
You want to frighten everyone.
I want them alive. These animals aren't lions, John.
I know that.
No, you really don't. They observe, they learn routines, they exploit our mistakes, and we've already made too many.
Do you know what frightens me, Robert? For years, I've believed this place would work. Every setback, every problem, I told myself it was temporary.
That's because you're a believer, John.
Yes.
And now?
Now I'm wondering whether belief is enough.
It isn't.
I look out at this park, and I still see what it could become.
Potential means nothing if people die, John.
I know, Robert. I don't want to lose another person.
Then change things. It's all in your hands. John?
I hear you. I'm not promising rocket launchers, but I will consider expanded training.
And a meeting?
We'll discuss it.
Soon.
Soon.
Good.
Now, enough philosophy.
Back to business.
Exactly. Finish your inspection. I would love to know your findings.
So would I.
Report the moment you find anything, Robert.
Understood.
I'm going to head back to control.
Something interesting has developed in Sauropod Swamp. Not a conflict, not an injury, thankfully. At least, not yet. Here are the smaller two brachiosaurs. They're fine mostly. Don't rise on my account, madam. The issue is over that far end. One of the adult apatosaurs has taken a particular interest in Bianca. Old apatosaur 2, experienced animal, calm temperament, the sort that rarely causes trouble. At first, I thought nothing of it. Large herbivores often show curiosity toward newcomers, particularly juveniles. But after several days, a pattern emerged. Where Bianca goes, the apatosaur follows. Feeding grounds, watering areas, resting sites, doesn't matter. She's always nearby. Never aggressive, never threatening. Quite the opposite. Protective. Bianca doesn't seem bothered by the attention. In fact, she appears rather comfortable with it. That's where the problem begins. People see behavior like this and assume it's beneficial or symbiotic. A surrogate parent and an adopted youngster. A nice, heartwarming story. Reality is usually more complicated. The adult has begun displacing other animals. Not violently, simply inserting herself between Bianca and the rest of the herd. Blocking approaches and occupying space. Subtle behavior. Easy to miss if you're not looking for it. The other brachiosaurs are already starting to avoid that pair. Not because they're frightened, because every time they approach, they are quietly encouraged elsewhere. Social pressure. Animals are remarkably good at it.
What if you could make a song using only your voice? Let's start with the drums.
We used to call this the auntie problem in Africa. elephant herds do something similar. An older female without a calf of her own will sometimes attach herself to one very strongly. At first, it looks helpful, extra protection, extra supervision, another experienced animal guiding the calf. But occasionally the bond becomes possessive. The auntie starts blocking the mother's access, herding the calf where she wants it, even interrupting feeding or resting routines. I saw it happen in Zavo once. An older elephant became so attached to a young calf that she repeatedly separated it from the main herd during movement. Not out of malice, out of attachment. The calf grew dependent on her, and the herd's normal social structure started to fracture around them. That's the danger here. What concerns me is the dependency forming between them. The juvenile brachiosaur is beginning to use the apatosaur as a reference point, follows her movements and adjusts her own behavior accordingly. That's not ideal. I just wanted to note this interesting observation that both species of sauropod here have a very distinct difference in coloration between adolescence and adulthood. The adult apatosaurs have this beautiful blue and gold striated hide, but the juveniles are a dull gray. I just always find that fascinating. What makes this particularly interesting is that the apatosaur shouldn't have any experience raising or nurturing young. None of them should. Jurassic Park's breeding controls ensure that every large herbivore arrives at maturity without ever producing offspring of its own. No nests, no calves, no new generations. From a zoological standpoint, they're missing an entire portion of their natural lives. Yet, here we are, an older female exhibiting what appears to be maternal behavior toward an unrelated juvenile, one of a different species for that matter, which suggests the instinct never disappeared. It simply never had an opportunity to express itself. The unfortunate reality is that these instincts can become misplaced. In nature, a calf eventually grows independent. A mother gradually loosens her attachment. The herd adjusts around that process. Here, the relationship isn't built on natural family structure. It's built on circumstance. The older sauropod is investing energy and attention into an animal that isn't hers. And the juvenile is receiving reassurance from an animal she was never meant to depend on. That's the danger of the auntie problem. It's a perfectly natural instinct expressing itself in an unnatural environment. And sometimes those are the hardest problems to solve. The purpose of this integration is to create a healthy mixed herd, not a herd within a herd. If the relationship continues unchecked, separation later becomes far more stressful for both animals. Strong social bonds are useful until they become exclusive. Then they create instability, especially when circumstances force change. Eventually, the adult may move away, become ill, or simply die. At that point, the younger animal suddenly loses its entire support structure, and the results are not pleasant. So we'll intervene now while the bond is still manageable. Nothing dramatic. We'll adjust feeding schedules, encourage Bianca to spend time with the other brachiosaurs, increase enrichment opportunities away from the apatosaur, create situations where she naturally interacts with the wider herd. The goal isn't to break the relationship. The goal is balance. And that's one of the stranger aspects of this job. Sometimes your work isn't preventing animals from fighting. Sometimes it's preventing them from becoming too attached.
How are the Rexes getting along?
Depends what you mean by getting along, Sarah.
That doesn't sound promising.
The juvenile's growing quickly, faster than I'd like.
Growth spurt, perhaps?
Appetite's increased, confidence too. And with confidence comes attitude.
Against the adult?
Mostly.
That's very ballsy of her.
The dynamic's becoming more aggressive.
Honestly, that part doesn't surprise me. Juveniles challenge adults. It's normal during maturation.
Even two females?
Actually, that's the part I'm struggling with. Territorial aggression at that level is usually more pronounced in males. Competition, dominance, mating access, the usual story. Just ask Tony. He sees it constantly with the male Rexes on Sorna. Makes me wonder if there's more going on behaviorally with the Rexes than we understand.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Where are you now?
Main road, waiting on a delivery.
God, the deliveries have to recur at night?
Site B loads them onto a ship, and whenever they arrive, we poor saps have to be ready to receive.
You sound thrilled.
Speaking of the juvenile Rex, she's just been watching me the whole time.
Oh, yeah?
That'll be the truck. Speak to you another time, Sarah.
No problem, Muldoon. Stay safe.
All right. No. Nick, are you all right?
What's happened?
Stay inside.
One problem after the
Nick, stay in the truck. Come on, Arnold. Arnold.
Muldoon, it's Nick.
Stay in the truck, Nick. Don't get out.
Yep, I saw it stumble. It's still behind the crate.
Okay. Try calling control again.
Yep.
The baryonyx is sedated and stable. She's breathing well. Heart rate's elevated, but not dangerously so. That's to be expected under the current circumstances. Jerry Harding has not arrived yet. The crane crew managed to lift her out of the jungle about 10 minutes ago and set her back on the main road for examination and strap her for transport. Quite a sight, I'll admit. 600 kilograms of angry theropod hanging from cables.
Wow.
Not something you forget quickly. From what I can piece together, the accident began after she violently thrashed about in her container. Subsequently, she took a hard fall. The impact must have disoriented her badly. Baryonyx are usually quite sure-footed animals, low center of gravity, powerful hind limbs, excellent balance. This one wasn't thinking clearly. She staggered after the container broke open, crossed the concrete roadside barrier, and wandered straight into the jungle. Didn't get far, 20 meters perhaps, then collapsed, likely from shock, trauma, or neurological disorientation. Could be all three. What concerns me is that this behavior doesn't entirely fit simple panic. A frightened animal runs, fast. This one stumbled, moved as if she had no sense of orientation at all. That suggests possible head trauma, concussion perhaps, inner ear damage as well. If that's the case, we may be dealing with more than bruising. Baryonyx are semi-aquatic hunters. They rely heavily on coordination, balance, and fast reaction speed. Compromise those systems, and you don't just have an injured animal. You have an animal that may never hunt or move normally again. That's what worries me. Right now, we'll be checking pupils, limb response, and cranial reflexes. Hopefully, she simply needs rest, but until she wakes and we observe her properly, I'm not making any assumptions. A fence diagnostic unit, patented by InGen. Simple device really, measures voltage across localized sections of electric fencing. Control gives us alerts and readouts, but that system only shows broad fluctuations across the park. A bird's eye overview, useful but not precise. This unit is more practical, lets us isolate fence performance in granular sections, down to the meter. Microfractures in insulators, corrosion in the wiring, current leakage through wet grounding points, the sort of wear and weather damage that doesn't always trip an alarm, but still weakens the fence enough to matter. And with animals like these, weak enough is all they need. The objective is straightforward. Find any weakness in the current. Any section weak enough that our friends inside could push through or otherwise traverse the wires without receiving a full charge. I'm almost certain one of the raptors here got out and killed Sam. The question is how? The raptor from the electrical substation and the one I shot on the river, those remain troubling anomalies. I still can't account for them. More and more I'm beginning to suspect something unusual is happening during transport from Isla Sorna. Some kind of containment anomaly. Human error, mechanical failure, or something worse. That's a separate matter. But first things first, I need to determine whether these girls have found a way out of this enclosure. They've tested fences for as long as I've known them. Not mindlessly either. Systematically. Watching, learning, probing for weaknesses. That's what makes them dangerous. They don't simply attack barriers, they study them. And today I'll find out whether their persistence has finally paid off. Though I will admit Hammond made a fair point. If they truly can escape this enclosure, then why return? Why come back into captivity? I haven't been able to answer that. A predator doesn't willingly surrender freedom, not without a reason, which leaves me with two possibilities. Either they aren't escaping at all, or they're leaving for purposes we still don't understand. Frankly, I'm not sure which possibility concerns me more. It's really got me thinking. What are you doing? Oh, shit. There goes the voltage meter. InGen is really going to hate me.
I still can't believe this is all in Blender. Man, shout out to L.A. Awada.
Here she is. Jerry's had a chance to see her again this morning. She definitely did suffer a concussion, at minimum, possibly vestibular trauma. The past couple of days she's been behaving like an animal that's lost its sense of balance. Disorientation. She was fittingly named Daisy. If there's swelling in the brain or internal bleeding, her condition could worsen very quickly. But Jerry's apparently quite confident that the bleeding has stopped, confirmed by imaging of her skull. We're keeping her here in this holding pen alone for the moment, and on Jerry's say-so, we'll be moving her into the baryonyx exhibit, where she'll be reunited with her pen mates. They arrived here from Sorna yesterday without issue. Dig this section up to install a moat around the enclosure, and here's one of our new additions. Essentially a bipedal crocodile, for lack of a better description. This is Violet, one of our 4 baryonyx. They are all just over a year old, but she'll be towering a few feet over me in no time. And here we've got the animal's namesake. Baryonyx means heavy claw. Hers aren't full size just yet, but she'll use them to... Violet, more like violence, she's still on edge because she's in a new home. Designing a habitat for a semi-aquatic predator is rather more complicated than simply digging a large pond or isolating a branch of the jungle river. Baryonyx spend a great deal of time moving between the land and water, so the banks have to be shallow enough to prevent slips, but firm enough to support nearly a ton of animal climbing out repeatedly daily. Water quality presents another challenge. A predator that feeds largely on fish produces an enormous biological load. We really don't want guests to arrive at this exhibit, only to be greeted by the smell of rotting fish. Without continuous filtration, the water becomes toxic quickly. We've also incorporated varying depths throughout the enclosure. Environmental complexity is every bit as important as security. A well-designed enclosure shouldn't simply contain an animal, it should allow it to behave like one. Violet's becoming familiar with the prey items in the river. Baryonyx are piscivores, and the jungle river is stocked full of tilapia and catfish, so Violet's most likely judging which prey would be easiest to ambush. Rather than chase fish through the river, Baryonyx will stand perfectly still in shallow water. The fish gradually stop noticing them. Once one swims within range, the animal will strike. Sit-and-wait predation is a far more efficient strategy than constant pursuit, and one you'll see employed by everything from crocodiles to herons. That one's name is Rose. She's the youngest of the group. What she's doing there is called gaping, similar to a crocodile, but not for quite the same reasons. Most dinosaurs aren't truly cold-blooded. We believe they produce a fair amount of their own body heat. But in this tropical climate, they still need to dump excess heat. Holding the mouth open exposes the moist tissues of the mouth and throat, helping them cool off. If anything, it's a sign she's comfortable, and comfortable animals make my life easier. Let's go find our last Baryonyx. The plesiosaur tank, now empty thanks to my stupidity. Rest in peace, little buggers. I'm sure InGen will have replacements soon. We're not here for that. Here's the underwater view through to the Baryonyx enclosure. It's been given a river aesthetic, as opposed to the deep-sea look of the marine reptiles exhibit behind me. And with any luck, we'll get to see the last of our Baryonyx. No, it's a no-show. Nope, here she is. This is the eldest and the largest of our Baryonyx. And continuing the naming convention, this, of course, is Hyacinth. Apart from the mishap the other night, I like it when things just work out.
Gatekeeper, crane is powered down, good to approach.
Yep. I don't see it.
Just open her up and let the scent canister inside do the work.
Imagine having this job, bro. The nightmares that you would be experiencing. Oh boy.
Okay, done.
Man, it's not worth it.
Still don't see it.
She'll come.
gates open, just waiting on her to get inside. Prepare the door.
Connor, what happened?
Oh, now she decides. Climb.
Connor, get into the container. We'll raise you up.
Oh my God. Lift me up.
That job is not worth it. Sheesh. Nah, forward. Roll for tough. Yeah.
Rex just fed, but something's still bothering her. Could be the scent of the juvenile about. After a large feed, such as a cow, she tends to be lethargic, similar to how a python or croc will settle to digest. Not this time. I think she's panting. Could it be indigestion? Maybe that cow went down wrong? Something's definitely bothering her. You all right, big girl? She's finally settled. I'm going to leave her in here for the night, rather than have her become even more stressed and agitated if she joins the juvenile. She's in a semi-fetal position, which tells me she's in some sort of pain. I don't think it's gastrointestinal in nature. I expect Rex digestion is particularly strong, so I'm just watching for anything else. Perhaps the lethargy is finally taking effect after her meal. That's a bit too close, my friend. Though I doubt the Rex would care too much at this point. Hold on a moment. Oh, I see what's happening here. Compies are scavengers, but they're rather more useful than that. They perform a valuable service. Bits of meat become lodged between the teeth after feeding, in places where a Rex can't possibly get to. The compies pick away at those scraps, along with parasites and dead tissue around the gums. It's a simple symbiotic relationship. The compies get an easy meal, the Rex gets cleaner teeth and a reduced risk of infection. Rather like the oxpeckers I used to watch, riding buffalo in Africa. Everyone benefits. The Rex was bothered because she had something lodged in her gums, perhaps a bone fragment, and was causing her pain. Muldoon?
Muldoon, it's Daisy.
Connor! Connor!
He stopped screaming a couple of minutes ago.
On my word, lower the crate. Okay. Now slowly turn it to the left. And stop. Connor? God. Finally finished hosing the transport container out. Hosed Daisy down too. What a disaster. One of the worst days I've experienced in animal management. I've seen men injured, I've seen men killed. Africa teaches you that much. But it never becomes routine. It never becomes easier. The transport container, there wasn't much left to investigate. I collected what was left of Connor, his work boot, a few scraps of his uniform, nothing more. The sight alone was enough to send a workman back to the lodge. Several couldn't bear to remain. One of the fellows stopped to speak with me before he left. Said Connor had been his closest friend on the island. He couldn't finish the sentence, simply broke down in tears. Packed his belongings and boarded the first helicopter this morning. People often think this profession is about tranquilizers, fences, and dangerous animals. The greatest burden is usually carried long after the incident is over. You learn every keeper by name. You have meals together. You celebrate birthdays. You become accustomed to seeing the same faces every morning. Then one day, one of those faces is gone, and you're expected to carry on as though nothing's happened. That's the part no one prepares you for. Working with dangerous animals demands more than physical courage. It asks something of your mind. Every loss stays with you. Every mistake replays itself. You begin wondering whether there was something you could have noticed, something you should have done differently, and that's a difficult thing to live with. And Daisy, even after all these years, I find this difficult to look at. Baryonyx are piscivores through and through, but seeing one consume a man... Her abdomen is enormously distended. I don't think I need to say what's inside, though the meal appears to have killed her. Large reptiles occasionally overestimate what they can safely swallow. Similar cases in pythons attempting to consume deer too large to digest efficiently. Crocodilians have likewise been found dead after taking prey beyond what their bodies could reasonably process. The digestive system simply reaches its limit. Combined with the stress of capture, transport, and her existing injuries, it's proven fatal. Which brings me to something else. Daisy arrived from Isla Sorna and immediately suffered a concussion. She was disoriented. For veterinary observation, we separated her from her 3 sisters. Looking back, I suspect several factors converged. Head trauma, isolation from family, unfamiliar environment, transport stress. None of these excuses what happened, but together they help explain behavior that was entirely out of character for the species. The workmen still aren't certain exactly how Connor lost his footing and fell into the holding pen. One account has surfaced repeatedly, though. Apparently there was a loud thud. They looked up and saw Connor fall from the roof of the transport crate into the enclosure below. Whether he slipped, lost his footing, or something else occurred, I don't have enough information at this point in time. But one thing is abundantly clear. Our transport procedures require immediate review. If a man can find himself inside one of these animals, then somewhere in our system, we've left a gap. And dangerous animals have a habit of finding gaps before we do.
You're stressing me out. Okay.
I've been documenting something rather unusual over the past few weeks. Small stone formations. 20 or so sharp stones pressed upright into the soil in rough circles. Some within the raptor enclosure, some outside it. I've photographed every one I've found. So far, a total of 5. Measured them, outlined them, marked their locations on a photograph I took from our helicopter over that corner of the enclosure. My first thought was that they were primitive nests. Birds construct nests in countless different ways. Some scrape shallow depressions into the earth. Others carry stones for drainage or support. Penguins steal pebbles from one another constantly during the breeding season. Even crocodilians clear and prepare nesting sites before laying eggs. And since these animals truly are descendants of ancient theropods, then perhaps some instinct has survived. Perhaps they were preparing nest sites, despite InGen's assurances that breeding is not possible. It seemed a reasonable explanation until I began watching more closely. Note that it's extremely difficult to see these so-called nests from surveillance cameras. I've had to rely on eyewitnessing the following findings. There are 3 raptors in this enclosure. I expected one individual to construct the nests, perhaps the big one, or perhaps whichever one happened to be approaching a breeding cycle. Instead, all 3 make them. Not together, not cooperatively. One begins a circle. Sometime later, another adds stones somewhere entirely different. There's no consistency. If this were reproductive behavior, I'd expect one female to claim a site and defend it. Instead, every animal appears equally interested. That was the first crack in my theory. The stone circles outside the enclosure are an even greater anomaly. Same size, same stones, same rough construction. Outside the fence. Well beyond where the raptors could possibly reach. That complicates things. Perhaps the raptors weren't inventing this behavior at all. Perhaps they were mimicking something they've seen. Monkeys are intelligent enough to manipulate objects and use tools. Certain birds arrange stones during courtship. Corvids in particular will investigate almost anything unusual. I spent 2 nights watching the surrounding forest using a trail cam mounted to the fence, looking for capuchin and howler monkeys, curassows, ground birds, anything that might be responsible. Nothing. No animal approached the circle. No animal built new ones. The only creatures I've actually witnessed placing stones in the ground are the raptors. So either they're copying behavior I haven't yet observed, or they are the original architects. My nesting theory continued to unravel. Upon close examination of one of the circles, I expected to find some sort of structure beneath the surface. A shallow depression, organic lining, leaves, twigs, anything suggesting preparation for eggs. Now, obviously the raptors cannot reproduce, but non-viable eggs are still completely possible. There was nothing, just stones. Each one forced vertically into the ground. No chamber, no bowl, no attempt whatsoever to create a place where an egg could safely rest. According to the prominent US paleontologist Alan Grant, it's believed that dromaeosaur nesting behavior closely resembled that of modern birds. An open ground nest about the size of the mother's body, which is actively guarded until the youngsters hatch. Whatever these circles are, they aren't designed to hold anything, nor allow an adult to sit comfortably and brood. Then I started to watch how the raptors behaved around the stones. Again, nothing fit. They don't guard them, no ceremony, no display, no interest. They simply ignore them. Occasionally one pauses, looks up, then simply ignores again. If I hadn't watched her place the stone myself, I'd swear the formation meant nothing to her. That leaves me with a problem. Every explanation I've come up with has failed. They're not nests, they're not territorial displays, they don't appear to be courtship offerings, they're not sleeping sites, and if another species is responsible, I've yet to find the culprit. Which means I'm forced to admit something I don't much enjoy admitting. I don't know what I'm looking at. Not yet anyway. But I've learned something after years working with dangerous animals. When an intelligent predator repeatedly performs a behavior that serves no obvious purpose, the fault usually isn't with the animal, it's with the observer. I'm asking the wrong question, and until I find the right one, I'll keep watching these girls very carefully.
Stimmerol, flavor the moment.
Man.
According to the reports from Site B, Violet and Rose are close because they came from the same batch, the second batch, and their bond is very evident here, which is great for the acclimatization process in a new environment. The first batch was comprised of our other two baryonyx. That batch produced 7 individuals, 5 perished soon after hatching. The remaining 2 understandably became very close. Here's the eldest of the group, Hyacinth. She's been in quite the depressed state since Daisy was separated from the group. Hyacinth tends to segregate herself from the other pair. I'm concerned about her because I'm yet to see her eat, which is a characteristic behavior when an animal is initially displaced. But I can't help but feel sorry for her. I feel sorry for most of the animals on this island. There aren't any parallels currently in captivity that could satisfactorily convey how displaced an animal from a completely different time could possibly feel here today. She knows exactly what the compies are here for, which is good.
Man, I still can't believe this is a blend.
These little guys are utterly fearless, but I don't think she's going to find anything in there. Hyacinth hasn't eaten since she arrived. Probably just detecting what's on Hyacinth's breath.
Details.
Oh God. Well, there's her first meal.
That is major disrespectful, bro.
All but complete. They've got the tour track planted in the ground and the territory sign up. This sector of the park is probably the furthest along. You could almost bring guests in, though I wouldn't advise it. Triceratops territory is currently comprised of the Triceratops, of course, the Styracosaurs, and the Euplocephalus. And this is their vehicle tour encounter. The star of the show here is our growing girl, Martha. You can see her anterior derms are really taking shape nicely, growing into the characteristic armor of these ankylosaurs. The goal of this exhibit's look is more of an arid terrain aesthetic, a more barren sort of style, though preventing tropical foliage from sprouting everywhere will be a full-time undertaking, but hopefully Martha and her herd will keep the grass short. I see another Euplocephalus. I hope she's all right. I think she's the one Jerry Harding told me to examine. Just resting. So essentially a raised platform to be seen from the vehicle windows. Separating the animals is, of course, a moat, stretching the length of the exhibit until we reach... a drain. Hopefully no birds can get in that one. I was thinking it would be a water moat, but these critters are good behind a dry moat. Hello, Martha. Can't stop and chat, girl.
Invictus, the masculine fragrance by Raban.
Have you seen any dinosaurs? What kind of question is that?
The end of Oak Street.
Yes, it's definitely this one. Jerry Harding has noticed some stunted development with this particular Euplocephalus. The osteoderms are one of this animal's most remarkable adaptations. Each of these bony plates form within the skin itself, creating a natural suit of armor that protects the neck and back. Notice how they are arranged in overlapping rows, allowing her to move freely while still presenting very little exposed flesh. Now, on this particular ankylosaur, some of these osteoderms appear smaller than I'd expect for an animal of her age. They're also quite malleable, deforming easily, even through simple respiration. Would serve as quite a useless form of defense if she were a wild animal. It suggests her development has been stunted, and possibly clues us in to possible disorders associated with the skeleton, a type of brittle bone disease. That's one of the unfortunate realities of cloning. The science is still in its infancy. Even when an embryo survives to adulthood, small errors in the reconstructed genetic code can sometimes influence how an animal develops. In modern captive breeding, we occasionally see congenital abnormalities, and genetic engineering introduces another layer of uncertainty entirely. Most of these differences are minor, but every now and then they affect skeletal growth, armor development, or overall body proportions. It's a reminder that bringing an extinct animal back to life is only the beginning. Ensuring it develops normally, that's an entirely different challenge.
What's going on?
Oh no. God.
Yo. W video from Ali Awada. Damn, bro. And all of this is in Blender. Now, respects to you, brother. Damn. I wonder when is volume 3 coming out. Proceed to volume 3. Sheesh. Nah. W video, bro. Okay. Stream is over. Thank you for watching if you did. Yeah, I just thought now, let me just go live for my day off. Tomorrow's back to work. But thank you, Ali Awada, for entertaining us. Alright, like, subscribe. New videos every Wednesday and Saturday. Bye.